I told him, like, put ice on it, so I wondered if you do anything.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Convo Couch. So we are right where the streets were in Imperial and Normandy. And this is day 5 of the Dijon Kizzee protest. Yesterday, Johnny and I came by, but we were a little late. They had already pushed into all the protesters and fired their chemical gases, their pepper gas, their rubber bullets. When we were in the car, we started feeling the rubber bullets. We started the pepper balls. We started ingesting them, and it was hard for us to breathe even in the car. So that's why we had the masks on. Now we brought the masks today, and we'll see what happens. Saturday night, they rushed into people within 5 minutes that the protesters were here, and the protesters were completely nonviolent. Nothing was thrown, not even a water bottle. That's what people were saying. So, Johnny, you've been here a couple times. What did you want to add? Anything that's been going on?
So right now, if you look at the situation, the police have actually covered off this road that leads to the sheriff's department, which is right over there. The protesters have been there from the first day, and they don't want any presence now of any protest in front of that sheriff's department. So it's blocked off on this street and blocked off at the next major light up all the way back there. So they have this truck here that's called the Cotmobile, or what did I heard a protester say? What did they say?
A protester called it the Cotmobile.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's basically just a big truck where it's a big truck where all of them come out of, basically. And yeah, like normally the protest, like he said, would be really right in front of the sheriff's department, but they've literally managed to block that off. They really do not want anybody near there. But I have a feeling protesters might try to remove this. I mean,
this is like really sharp, like razor sharp wire. Yeah, it's really sharp, razor sharp wire. Like if you try to run into that, you're gonna get cut pretty bad. Yeah, it's the new age barbed wire. They have another Cotmobile over here. and they've taken presence over the public location over here. The other day, about 2 days ago, they were shooting at protesters at right in front of the laundromat, and in that alleyway right there, where I found pools of blood and leftover pepper balls and damage to the property. There were just the chemical irritant markings all over the window of that laundromat right there. And it looks like they shut down that laundromat. Usually it'd be open, and it was running yesterday. But now they've seized control of that. So you can see the barbed wire goes all the way up to there, towards over there. And I'm sure that business doesn't like what the sheriffs are doing. But that is an assumption. So now we got 3 trucks here now. 1, 2, 3. And you can see on the side of this truck, it has a little metal wall. Let me zoom in a little bit.
And notice how the police officers have all of this like riot gear and all of this. I mean, there can't be more than 50 people here. I started to count them earlier. Maybe a couple more people are going to come in, but 50 people. And then you have about 3 trucks. You have these vehicles, and then you're probably going to have some people coming back and backup as well. And it seems a little bit excessive to me, the amount of police force. Somebody in the comments said, "Oh, it's Antifa." There's no I mean, I don't know. Antifa is nobody, like, it's everybody, right? Like, it's not any one organization. This isn't really Black Lives Matter. This organization itself, it's a bunch of people that have come here. There's no particular organization, would you say?
No, there's not. It's just a conglomerate of different kind of protesters. Some of these sheriffs are walking back. I don't know why. It might be because the combo couch is here early. They're not shooting off pepper balls at people.
They start shooting.
Yeah, so we can see. It's not really. It's various different types of protesters. People from the community, a lot of people out of the community, but here in support because Dijon Kizzee got hit. He got stopped by a bicycle code violation, and then they proceeded to shoot him 20 times in the back. Over 20 times. There have been reports of.
What happened last night with another journalist that does like the protest work?
So there was last night we came and we didn't live stream because we got here late and pretty much everything was over and protesters left. But I watched various journalists / protesters on Instagram, and one of them, who goes by the name of activist Andy, actually got pulled over by sheriffs, and he was live streaming the whole time, and they pulled him out of their car. They asked him to get out, and they detained them. And me and Fiorella were like, we need to go film what's happening because no one else is there. And we found them down Imperial Highway, and when we arrived, they were in cuffs, and then the sheriffs proceeded to get them out of cuffs. And I walked up to the sheriffs and to the whole situation like, I'm press, I can be here. They told me to back up, and then I backed up, and they just let them go, and they got away. But they pulled them over because of a dog. It was a dog out of crate infraction or some bullshit. I don't know what the hell that was.
Like 2 things I've heard that are crazy, like infraction situation where like nobody gets pulled over for that. You can probably give people jaywalking tickets more than anything else. But like Johnny said, there's the 3 trucks here. I think they're probably going to call for backup. I don't see the protesters doing anything. Normally, is there a march going on or anything before? Or they haven't even had a chance usually? They've just lined up right in here?
Yeah, they just lined up.
Yeah. So the protesters, I guess, have been just lining up, and it hasn't taken that long for the police to come after them. Other than the first night where they were there for a while, that Monday when he was shot, where people went immediately into the sheriff's. They haven't allowed people to really stay that often and that late anymore.
And right now, I'm taking a look at the protester crowd, and I'm not really seeing any of the same leaders we've seen before. A lot of protesters have been arrested. There've been a lot of protesters arrested. And they're still they're still being held and detained. There's currently a few GoFundMe's going around for some protesters because they set the bail at 50,000, so then it's 5,000 that they have to pay. Most people do not have that 5,000 laying around, and so I'm not seeing the typical leaders out here, and no one's on a megaphone right now. So this is just a just a conglomerate. Different types of protesters out here, just people who came out here for support.
It can be a little dangerous though, not having that leadership, because then you don't stay as a group and you don't cohesively, because what they do is they divide people using those tactics, and then they are able to go after specific people and target them, and that tends to happen when people aren't like acting like as one unit. It's kind of, you have to adapt that military tactic, unfortunately, where you have to be like acting as one unit, and if you don't, then it's a lot easier to take you down, and then they'll kettle people. And there's, like I said, there's not that many people. Johnny mentioned some have been arrested, but I think other people have actually gotten burnt out. And the difference I see from here, this protest and the Portland protest, is that Portland protest had so many people. So even if like a few people were like didn't show up that day, you always had a lot of people. But Los Angeles is the kind of city where people just, I swear, people just want to like ignore everything. They want to go back to normal. There's, Hollywood, there's all these things going on. The fires are happening. All this shit is happening. So I think it's a lot easier for people to like sit back and be like, oh, I want to go to brunch. I want to stay home. It's very calm right now.
So 2 nights before, it took until around 10 p.m. for the sheriffs to declare it an unlawful assembly. Last night, it took until like 7:30 or 7:45 until it was declared an unlawful assembly. Right now, what time is it? I forgot my watch.
Right now it's 7:23.
Right now it's 7:23 p.m. over here in Los Angeles, Southeast LA, and they still haven't declared an unlawful assembly, but it looks like they're ready to go whenever. It looks like the sheriffs are just afraid to become another Portland or Seattle or something. They don't want to look weak, I suppose. So, we're going to keep watching it, and we're going to be informing y'all what's going on.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to...
How about some?
Yeah. We'll go and introduce
Okay, so more and more people are arriving.
Yeah, it looks like you can write three at a time. Yeah, yeah. Water, Gatorade. Nope. Yep.
I'm not sure what happened to Blobby, but he's not out here. I think they seized his stuff. I'm not sure. I gotta reach out to Lord Blobby.
You see how he's calling them?
Slide went this way though.
We're calling them already.
Yeah, we signed it already. Yeah, thank you. Oh yeah,
find someone new to dump it off for. They arrested somebody? That's how they were boning out, huh? They did that shit on purpose.
Yeah, this is razor wire. You're the assistant principal?
Yeah, I work at a school that's like down the street from here.
Is that the elementary school?
No, I work at a middle school. I work at a, yeah, it's a middle school in Imperial and Avalon.
Well, why are you out here today?
Man, if you knew the amount of like cuts and things, just the amount of resources that we need, and then when I see how much gear these sheriffs have, like we don't have basic things and basic resources.
Yeah, all teachers have to ask their students to bring resources in, right?
Even like and even because I support adults, I wish I could get my teachers gifts and like different things for like to make them feel good. This shit's hard right now. You know, I wish that I could send them whatever the things that they need. But instead, like this is ultimately though, we have a responsibility because our tax dollars go towards that.
Exactly.
And that's really hard too to know like I don't agree with this, but my money is going towards this.
Right.
And so gotta be out there.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. But like, you're ready to put a handcuff back in the car.
I was about to get laid. Real touchdown. I left with the phone. I was like, oh, seriously.
7:36 p.m.
Son la patrulla donde digo la
So, fam, I just did a little mini interview. I think Monarch. I think there's about like 60, maybe 80 max protesters here. Not that many. I just did a little interview, fam, with an assistant principal that's out here protesting of a middle school down the road. She said she's here because she's looking at all the gear that the sheriffs are using, and she's wondering why they don't have funding in school. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's what protesters mean when they talk about defunding the police. They want to use that money that goes to heavily armor our police like a military battalion and use it instead to arm our communities with things they need. That was the whole point of the Chaz Shop thing. They were providing services to people, whether it was mental health, whether it was food, like services that the government doesn't provide anymore. If you recall, Malcolm X, when he had his organization, they provided basic services to the black community, but also to the poor community, including white people, Asian people, all kinds of people. And yeah, so I think it's important to note that when people say defunding the police, they don't really mean like they're going to necessarily get rid of the police, but some people have that opinion that we don't need police at all. But there are various opinions, and people need to understand when you say that it can have the definition though for defunding is to economically remove the money from going in areas where it's over, like you don't need it, to areas where you do need it.
And you were speaking on that Malcolm X, public help, right? If people watch, if you've watched the murder of Fred Hampton, the documentary, they actually they document how the Black Panther Party, Bobby Rush in Chicago with Fred Hampton in Chicago, they will also do the same thing. They started off with free meals and breakfast to kids in public schools and like low income schools and low income communities, and then they started doing free health centers and stuff like that. You know, where they would provide like free medical care. So they would provide their own Medicare for all, which was really interesting back then. That was like in the 60s, late 60s, early 60s.
And now you just have to accept that you can't have it during a pandemic. It just doesn't make any sense. This is why people feel like we need to protest for not just for this, but for like a bunch of other things. But like I said, people aren't really doing that right now. They should be. In any other country, they would have already been rioting in the streets a long time ago when you only got $1,200 and nothing else, and then they went on vacation. The French, like, literally are like, what are you doing? You don't even need politicians. Why is America so backward? Why isn't America fighting back against not just the police, but also the entire system that is operating? And I think it's capitalism. I know we interviewed Lisa Savage earlier, but I think capitalism is a part of imperialism, and it's a disease. And I think capitalism is the thing people need to focus on, because capitalism is what allows them to get this money to be heavily militarized and to have all these weapons of war to be used against these protesters who are simply exercising their First Amendment right. And again, that connects to Julian Assange, who not many people are even talking about it, even in the left community. Julian Assange is being held prisoner for literally telling the American people that the government was lying to them. And these mainstream media outlets like the New York Times and the Washington Post published his work, and yet they are fine and free because they completely left him. They didn't defend him, and they're not real journalists. They're propagandists who are there to spin their own narrative.
Some guy just screeched off. But chants started, a couple chants. I just heard a couple chants. Couple chants started. It was like, how many war crimes did you commit? I think it was to become a sheriff out here in LA County. It's like, I think they give preference to people who have been in the army or Marines or anything like that, who's already seen combat. I believe they provide preference to those applicants as opposed to people who haven't seen been in any type of military.
And from what I've seen, based on the evidence of people here, the sheriffs has been a lot more aggressive than the LAPD even. And the LAPD has a bad rap, obviously, but because they do have a lot of lawsuits coming at them from a lot of people, including journalists. So I think they've definitely backed off. However, the sheriff's department doesn't have to abide by that necessarily. And they have been attacking protesters pretty brutally from what I've seen. You guys can see the riot shields right now. They're lined up like that. But it's the gas. The gas, like even in Portland, it was awful. It was awful gas. But that one, when we were in the car, I started coughing. It was the pepper bullet. The pepper, what is it? The pepper bullet? The pepper balls, which is a whole other thing. But it makes it hard to breathe, and you start coughing. Again, even if the protesters were like throwing water bottles or rocks like they're doing in Rochester, does the punishment fit the crime? Is it necessary to come with shields? Is it necessary to come with these weapons of war? Is it necessary to have all of these people being paid? These are where our tax dollars go. American tax dollars are going right now every single day, because they decide to bring all these people to face about 60 protesters, most of them really young, and most of them literally everybody completely unarmed. It's not like Wisconsin when you can show up there with a gun. It's not an open carry state. It's interesting, not being an open carry state, you're seeing a lot of violence from the police state, which is again where all of our money is going instead. And if you guys look around, this is South Central. Basically, this is an area that is majorly poor. It's majorly minority community. And it is, it's really interesting that they have that here. And a lot of people have been talking about the gangs in the sheriff's department now, like a lot of people. And it's becoming really apparent that there's something going on here based on the animosity, I think, towards the protesters.
Yeah, so a big gang around here is the Executioners. And you can look at this up online. There's a lawsuit right now. A good cop, one of those small few good cops. Actually, Deputy Art Gonzalez filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department because he said that there's gangs in the department, and it's been no secret that there are gangs, but now this is a lawsuit, and this is putting more legitimacy towards that. You can, there's a tattoo that people have, and it's like a skull. It's like a skull, and it's like laughing, and it has a Nazi-style hat on, and then apparently they don't let anybody into their gang unless they're no minorities and no women into their gang. So that is what Art Gonzalez, the deputy who filed that lawsuit, has said. You can look it up. Just look it up. This is real. There are gangs here in LA County, which is supposedly Democrat, right? It's fucking the most democratic progressive state in the United States of America.
Yeah. It's interesting. I wonder what's going to happen with all the fires happening too around LA and like the police kind of being stretched thin. I think the protesters they're blowing bubbles right now. The protesters are blowing bubbles at the police, which is kind of funny, but so yeah, bubbles. Okay. Let me wait for somebody in the chat to say that's provoking them because they're bubbles. Like, right?
Those bubbles can have chemicals in them.
But
Blue lines.
this is the kind of crap. Like, this is like, it's just, I mean, I don't know how much more peaceful it gets. And we were listening to, I don't know what radio show it was, but they were talking about Colin Kaepernick, right? Colin Kaepernick was literally the one symbol of peace. Like, he knelt, took a knee. Lots of honking, horn honking, and solidarity right now. But Colin Kaepernick took a knee, was very peaceful about the whole thing, and he literally lost his whole career over it. And then people wonder, like, why, like, there is an escalation in a lot of tactics. It's because sometimes peace, like, as peaceful as this is, isn't even considered peace when you start getting attacked for being outside. I can't speak for every single protest, but the ones we've been to, I haven't seen that violence that the media likes to talk about, that the protesters cause. I haven't seen that in Seattle. I didn't see that in Portland. I didn't see that anywhere. And even in the very beginning of the protests in LA, I didn't see any of that. So to be honest, the violence seems to escalate when protesters are attacked by the police with weapons of war that they shouldn't be attacked with.
Tear gas, expired rubber bullets are more lethal. They've been using pepper balls here, so it's like a little plastic ball. You can look at our previous live stream where I found a few on the ground, along with a pile of blood. Blood on the ground from a protester who got hurt. So, and the other night, it was only... They started shooting because they called it unlawful assembly and people aren't leaving. So they're enjoying the First Amendment right. But they're... but yeah, here we are. And they're just blocking off everything and wasting time here.
Yeah, and honestly, there's not that many people here for them to really, like, bring that much force. I mean... Nobody, like, if we look at Portland, people have, like, more gear there. Like, they made their shields, they brought their leaf blowers, they brought more protection. The people here are wearing, like, minimal things. And like Johnny said, this isn't necessarily, like, one organization. It's, like, different people from parts of Los Angeles coming together and protesting. Another killed man. And the reason people are also protesting is because to them it feels like there's been a lot of... like, instead of decreasing the violence from police, they feel like it's increased since George Floyd.
A big criticism of Eric Garcetti is that he goes on air and talks about, all these crimes are happening around the country, and then when it's happening in his backyard, he's silent about it, and he hasn't done anything about it. He hasn't done anything about this killing, Dijon Kizzee.
They're starting to chant.
I'm going to switch to the other mic.
Dijon Kizzee! 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 No peace! Police! No peace! No racist ass police! No peace! No racist ass police! No peace! No racist ass police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! No peace! Police! Prosecute killer cops! 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 Prosecute killer cops!
Even if the shit hits the back, you gotta push it that way.
Police! 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 How do you spell racist? L-A-D-D. How do you spell racist? L-A-S-D. L-A-S-D.
You new to the game?
I don't see no riot here! Why are you invited here? I don't see no riot here! 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 Killer cops, killer cops, killer cops!
I'm thinking that they have the heart to change. We're asking to change the heart. Change it all the way to the top, all the way to the presidency, Lord. Give us a president that cares about lives. Lord, we pray for everyone here that their lives be protected. I pray for peace right now. Only your presence can do that because you're the Prince of Peace. Wherever we speak your name, God, your spirit can do the impossible. God, you can change hearts, you can change minds. We rebuke every evil spirit that's trying to cause people to fight each other, that's trying to cause people to war against each other. I'm asking right now, God, that you would intercede in this place right now, that you bring everybody to peace. Everybody say this with me. Say peace. Peace. Say, Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus.
Give us peace.
Give us peace.
I believe in peace.
I believe in peace.
I believe in love.
I believe in love.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome.
We shall overcome.
Lord Jesus.
Lord Jesus.
Give us peace.
Give us peace.
You're the Prince of Peace.
You're the Prince of Peace.
We speak love to you.
We speak love to you.
Help them change their heart, Lord.
Help them change their heart.
Help them change their heart, Lord.
Help them change their
And Jesus, and say Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter.
It says all lives matter.
Black Lives Matter.
Then Black Lives Matter.
There we go. There we go.
Black Lives Matter.
Thank you. Thank you. Amen. 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 Thank you very much.
I mean, I have my own church. I'm with Judah Force Ministries online. But, you know, I'm just down here supporting by myself.
My boy Anthony, they
Yeah, I took our pictures.
they literally just walked in the street. I got
got detained?
I got detained.
For what?
For nothing. They said I fit the description. They got a call of somebody with a gun in the area.
Okay.
One person. But I'm walking with somebody else.
We'll talk about this. We'll get it all down.
For sure.
I'll get the definition.
Thank you.
Are you black, Mike?
I am.
I've seen your work. You got a great photo.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was there.
Thank you.
Follow my friend, Active
I take
Angel.
photos. That's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, my handle's Kizzee.
Killer cop!
I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was one of the other journalists, fellow journalists I follow on Instagram. Be like Mike, he also got arrested last night, and he says he only takes photos. So they've been arresting press at this particular protest. Sheriff's Department is a little bit less careless than other jurisdictions.
Where are you at?
Thanks for looking at.
Well, the first couple nights I didn't even do that.
You want to get some of that over there?
Yeah, so I was
What's going on over here? Stop traffic that way. So we do have police over here. This is an El Pollo Loco. It looks like it's closed down, boarded up. So most of the action's on the intersection of Normandy and Imperial, but we do have some police over here. Just checking out the area. So again, the intersection is Normandy and Imperial. And let me mute the audio real quick because this music's playing. Pretty sure that's the Fox reporter. This guy's pretty sure because he's like a Chad. He's a little Brad, little Brad.
No, it's like ND NGO, like that.
So I think that's the reporter guys back there from Fox 11.
That play locals at the windows bar.
Yeah, but it's hard to see with my phone. If you have your camera, they all have their cameras. You know what he looks like? Is that what he looks like? What's his name?
Everybody out here with their cameras. Last night they was shooting shit at us at the protest. Yep. Because we had walked the fence to the store and we saw them lining up. They just get ugly. Last night they started like around, I would say, 8. Oh, okay. They got my building off, so I had to call Kevin like, this one. You might have to go to they stopped like around 6:30.
He's been saying that the protests have been violent. But it's just interesting that
That's why they like it like it's
So here, you can show that.
Oh, look, when you try to take a picture of him, that's why they flash their lights. Yeah. But I thought it was trying to instruction.
There's all the instructions. Moving over Manhattan is what it's called.
I don't know. He might be there. There are chemicals on the other side. I know Channel 2 Channel 9 is right there. And Telemundo's over there, so. Oh, they're right there now.
Up to the hard drive, baby!
One moment is yeah, someone else has to because
We also have a few protesters staying back over here.
We're like literally recording all this stuff.
I just trying to eat.
and they're mad, but we still have to live it. You know, we got kids and everything. Yeah, like, yeah, we still have to live over here. I'm not saying they can't do what they're doing, so be it. Shout your voice. Give your opinion. I'm for it. But I feel like they're gonna have to stand right here. What?
Personally, I would like to see more of the community out here if they really want to fight and argue and protest.
Well, the sheriff shouldn't be blocking off the street. The protest should be right in front of the sheriff's department.
Right.
Because the protest.
Well, I was at the Adelanto ICE detention one.
Yeah, but I feel like if they
the first one, and they just destroyed everything. They broke car windows and everything. And then, like a month later, they had a second one, and this time they put a fence all around it.
Yeah.
So I think this is what happened. Like Saturday, you were able to go over there. Yeah. They got out of hand with tear gas and everything like that. So I guess they have no choice but to block it off. So it's preemptive for them.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back in the house. The kids wanted to see it.
Well, there's a couple of guys.
I'm saying, like, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, no, but this guy's been saying, like,
Who is he that he's saying? Oh, he's on.
What's his name from?
Is it Rick Baker? I know there's one guy that's law enforcement.
Yeah, it is. It's
he
way
has a law
more. It's
enforcement
way
kind of
more.
background.
Black, I mean, it's way more white than
Is anyone over here parked at 7-Eleven protesting?
No, I'm not.
My friends are going to start towing.
Two people parked at 7-Eleven. It looks like they're going to start towing.
So this is the other guy on the other side. Yeah, let me look at him. That's the other guy. It could be,
You're live,
let me look at it. Let me get both, since you're both going to be together.
You gotta give me a little bit of Ray, Daddy said show you this. By my house, they're doing that protesting for the Dijon Kizzee.
You name it, I've shot. And so
no, this is the last week. I don't know if you guys heard of 190 on 190 Normandy. They shot that black guy.
He was a civil.
Yeah, this is for him.
So that
I
guy's
think
another.
they're saying that the black guy will be out on Saturday. Look, he has this light. They're trying to light so bad, I guess you can't get a picture of them. So basically what they're trying to do is they're trying to flash their lights so you can't, because it's recorders, there's camera people out here.
So that's the guy with the glasses that I got over there.
This is the riot,
So that's the same
the
guy.
riot crew.
This guy is the same
You
guy.
said what, Brandon?
This guy.
Jesus for Floyd, yeah. But the cases were good. The white people out
No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Our streets! 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 Our streets!
Dijon, Kizzee! Dijon, Kizzee! Dijon, Kizzee!
People in the green hats are National Lawyers Guild. They come out to pretty much every protest. You know, just taking note of everything that goes on, violations of the Constitution, First Amendment rights, and Second Amendment rights.
I'm gonna talk about this. Look at his fucking tweet.
Yeah, let's show it on the
When they start throwing that stuff, I don't know what they're gonna get in my face. That's why they got this D6 on. Yeah. My face. Last night they was throwing shit. Well, I live right there, but I see it was harsh where they're going to get another place. Yeah. They don't. I'm good though.
Can you put this in for a second?
Fuck the police. I don't want to see nobody. And it goes to everybody.
All street! All street!
Hey guys, okay, so I don't know if Johnny can try to zoom in. Do you want to get a little closer, or? Okay, he's gone. Okay, so there was a reporter from Fox LA. His name is Bill Fox LA on Twitter, Bill Malugan, who, if you go to his Twitter, he has been posting things like the Antifa protesters. He has been spinning that narrative that the protesters are very violent, even though that has not been the case regarding the protesters. And he has also posted this tweet, and I'm going to show it in the screen in a minute. Well, he interviewed the Sheriff Alex Villanueva, who we've also interviewed, by the way, several times on our show, saying that that a lot of the protesters are from Arizona, Florida, San Francisco, Michigan. I honestly haven't seen that either. I don't know where the sheriff is getting this information from, but the vast majority of people are from the community. Yeah, they're spinning that narrative right now on Fox LA. And also, he said that a lot of the protesters are claiming that they are press. And he said, interesting. I've never seen any of these colleagues. Newsflash, scribbling press onto a helmet does not make one a journalist. So he is attacking independent media. And he is literally, he posted this tweet. I don't know if you guys can see it, but.
It said that he was back there talking to the sheriff.
Yeah, and he was just back there talking to the sheriffs behind enemy lines. Now, just because you're behind enemy lines doesn't mean that, you know that's a bad thing. However, he was back there where other reporters like from Telemundo and everybody else are here in the front. So I'm going to make a tweet talking about this a little bit more in depth. And I think they're going to start blocking the street now. So Johnny, here.
All right, so protesters are starting to move away from here. Sheriffs haven't moved really at all. They're just kind of watching the protesters leave. So it looks like they are blocking off the roads here, and the sheriff's car is trying to get through on the other side. That's interesting. All right, so protesters are marching down Imperial Highway right now. Some sheriffs just walked up right there. Hey, what happened right there?
They stole chalk. You know, a dangerous weapon.
No, one of the most dangerous weapons available to protesters is cops just seize some chalk. It looks like they're going to seize that water right there. Like, they're going to seize the water right here too, maybe. Yeah, they're going to seize that water. I don't know. Why would you go through that way? They're seizing the water. Free water. So we're just pressed. I mean, I didn't bring that water. And yeah, protesters have left now and marching down Imperial Highway. So as you can see, Sheriff's Department has seized water and chalk. Water and chalk. Soap stuff. And bubble stuff, I mean. All right, so I'm going to switch to the other mic unless you have something to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so yeah, that guy was totally talking to the sheriffs. He's obviously extremely partial to them, which is okay, I guess. I mean, but him saying that that just because he doesn't know, he hasn't seen any of the other people who are journalists, that he doesn't know them, that means that they're not press, is really like a very like fascist point of view to have, because I mean, here we are right now fighting for Julian Assange to be completely released and not extradited, and this is exactly what journalists are fighting, that kind of idea that they have to defend the state. The fourth estate was created to be another mechanism to watch over the corruption of the government and the corruption of government entities like the police department, the CIA, and the military. So if we're not doing that, if we're not questioning the status quo, you're not a journalist. You're a propagandist and a spinner of a narrative.
Yeah, that guy's just salty because he's literally he's just a propagandist. What was his name again, fam? What was his name? Bill, Bobby, whatever. Billy Bob.
Melugan.
Bill Melugan. Bill Melugan. We know you. We see you. We've probably interviewed more presidential candidates than Bill Melugan, fam. We probably have more candidates and more presidential candidates than Bill Melugan.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. They only do what the narrative for violence and like freaking people out does. So the more you freak people out, the less they're likely to come to a protest. The more they're likely to think it's violent, that the protesters are violent, when that's not the case. All right.
Nah, but dead ass, Bill Melugan. I've interviewed more people than more candidates and presidential candidates and more congressional candidates and senatorial candidates than you have probably. So if you want to talk about who really is the press here, we're out here on the streets, and you're over there.
We're not over there hiding behind the police, so they don't, let me lick the boot a little bit more.
Right.
You're supposed to be the fourth estate. You're supposed to be watching what they're doing and calling them out when they're not doing something right. That's what your job is supposed to be. It's not supposed to be to lick the boot.
And that's why we got 30,000 subscribers, fam, and we are growing every day. Almost 31,000, and we are growing every day. Even though YouTube keeps suppressing our shit, we are still growing, and we're still, thanks to our fans and fams, our amazing fans and fams, able to buy equipment to keep doing this and travel, actually. We've been to Portland, Seattle. We've been to Iowa. We've been to New Hampshire. We've been to Nevada. We've been to Las Vegas. You saw Bernie Sanders swoop in the caucuses, which is how it should have been in every state. But you can't rig caucuses, but you can rig primary elections, and we saw that. I didn't see Bill in the where they count all the ballots in Downey, where they count the ballots in Downey, were behind 6-inch glass walls, and so there's that. All right, fam, we should go catch up with the protesters.
Yeah, are they going to stay there?
No, they're going down Imperial and then probably marching back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
I'm going to switch to the other mic here.
That's me. You know Joe?
guys hungry too?
So why are you seizing the water?
Appreciate it.
Why are you seizing the water?
Here, I'll pass it over. I'll pass it over.
Set badge number 65. Set badge number, sir. Careful there.
Real CEO around by any chance?
Here you go. You guys can't really throw these. There you go.
Oh, is there a CEO by any chance?
A what?
A CEO?
There is, yeah.
Where's
your credentials?
Oh, right here. LIT credentials.
Okay. Which one?
I just got to ask him, you got Sergeant guy, the RTS one?
The who?
Your SRT guy?
We're all SRT.
Well, the Sergeant one.
The Sergeant?
Ah, never mind.
You don't realize that they're going to unload on everybody, right? Even if you are on their side a little bit. Right?
I'm not on their side. I'm just got to report myself then. That's all.
That's all you guys. They arrested journalists yesterday.
Yeah, they did. A lot of
you guys were not credentialed. That's why.
What are you talking about? I got credentials.
That's not credentialed, bro.
Pretty ridiculous that they grab their water, honestly.
Yeah.
And that guy was like, "Oh, you can use water as a weapon." Like what?
That guy?
The media guy, the press guy. He's mistaken. Sadly mistaken. Cameras crossed. Make it quick. Make it quick.
Did they say why they were taking the water? I didn't hear.
No, I asked them. They didn't say anything. It was just the media guy saying they could use them as weapons. Bootleggers. What are bootleggers doing out here?
Hey, that was buffoon. Listen.
I think they went to there's a bridge up here that they went to. Excuse me. Look, there's some sheriffs over there. It wasn't in the road, it was on the street corner. It was on the sidewalk. Why y'all keep twisting this narrative? You literally just saw it on my camera. It was on the sidewalk. they slash his tires? There was 4 sheriffs over there. That guy's looking at his tires there. Let's go to the lake real quick. What happened? Did they slash his tires?
Yeah.
No fucking way.
They slashed all 4 tires. You can get your shots of it.
What the fuck? Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Damn,
Supply truck.
Cross, you're good. Are you serious right now? There was like 4 fucking sheriffs over here.
Yeah, they were arresting the driver.
They arrested the driver?
They detained him and they slashed his car with his tires, and they were handing out water bottles and shit. I'm trying to see if there's any slashes on the... Because all 4 of them are flat.
Wow.
I don't see any marks.
This is insane. And they broke his headlights? Look at that, folks. Oh my gosh.
And they went through all, and I know the guy that drives it. They went through all of his shit.
So, are you sure it was the sheriffs?
Oh, positive, yeah. They followed him over, pulled him out, they let him walk away, but that's what they did it last night. They were pulling people over last night like crazy too. For stupid things, like this guy had his dog out of the cage, and you saw
They rushed
yeah.
up on them. They rushed up on them.
It was this dude Andy.
Activist Andy.
But I recognized this truck because. You want to see that on there? I mean, it's the same Toyota. They were handing out supplies it's the same Toyota. So
they targeted.
They knew something was going on with this car.
They targeted this truck basically.
Yeah.
This is insane. The sheriff slashed the tires.
And I just heard on the radio they're going down 112 back to Imperial. They're going that way, back on 112. It's 2 streets.
Protesters.
Yeah, the protesters.
Yeah, they don't know who you are here.
Clear distinction. We don't chant. We don't chant. You know, we're not chanting at all. We're not, you know, joining the protesters at all. We document everything. We go journalists, and then also give our commentary where we think it's ridiculous that the sheriffs are doing this and that the protesters are exercising their First Amendment right. That's our opinion. But we're not activists here. And we're not getting paid at all to do. Yeah, we're not getting paid to say what we say.
But there's Antifa narrative, so.
I have 3 witnesses that just said that the sheriffs did it. All 3 of the trucks are still here.
to have no confrontation. They walked away. They're coming back around on 112th right now. There's 2 streets up that way. They're coming this way. You walk up there?
I heard it all the time. I heard it go.
My Black Lives Matter shirt on.
Have you been out here, sir?
Yeah, I've been out here for 2 days now. I live right here on the street.
I was here on the first night when they were running.
Yeah, when they was right there. I was here too. Then they got to acting crazy and shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, put me on though. Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter, homie. Put me on, yup. Put me on, homie.
We're the Combo Cuz. You can look us up on YouTube.
Okay. What's that?
Combo.
Combo?
Yeah, short for conversation.
Oh, combo couch.
Yeah.
Hey, put me on. I'm gonna look it up too.
You're on there.
Okay. Yeah, they was acting crazy, man. I've been over here for the last 4 days. Yeah.
No one got arrested. Interesting.
I think.
Yeah, undercovers. Protesters are officially dispersed, it looks like. It looks like protesters are officially dispersed. Yeah, they all made the decision to leave. So no arrests, no nothing today.
I swear to God, like as soon as we left, a bunch of people were gonna get picked off. Like there were a bunch of cars coming down that way that were all unloaded.
Yep. And I was trying cookies for that expired tag, so I just stuck that in. They're just waiting. I can't do it.
So I was that was last night. Tonight was even worse, right? I don't know what started back. Well, so I heard from guys nobody's out here. We're gonna get trapped in. They're gonna write all this. That wouldn't happen. It would not have come down. That normally, normally to what is that, for Har? Next Main Street? Might be less early. I think it's from Mar. Yeah.
So the protesters dispersed because people are they're going to come back.
But that's all I saw, and then my subscribers from the Senate. I mean, probably like 8:15, like 20, 30 minutes ago. Yeah. I mean, but all those people had a free trial.
Right. Yeah.
Can I get your sign?
Sure.
So these are all the names, yep. Elijah McClain, Anthony McClain.
Not all of them.
Not
but a
all
lot
of them. There's too many, right?
Yeah, there's some on the side.
Wow, that's nice.
I'm basically torn between going back home, putting it tonight, having a drink, do that, and drink for that. Would you park? You didn't say that last night. Look after all we left, you don't take me home. Last night they didn't do it. Last night they didn't. I feel like the OG girl.
They're tired of getting killed.
I don't blame them.
You really think that it's tired?
I really do.
Tired.
So the crowds are
Hammer.
The crowd, yeah, that's first.
I would be too.
I mean, what's that?
When you're strong enough to show my kill cup,
I don't think so.
then, well, you're ready to get hunted. Yeah, you're so low. So, I mean, it's like, oh, yeah, we're tired. Yeah, but you deserve it. No, I hear you. No, but you're not singing like, oh,
you know? Yeah, pretty much.
Crossing the street real quick. I'm gonna sign off here.
All right, guys. So as you guys saw, that according to that protester, the sheriffs slashed their tires, and apparently they've been doing that the last few nights. The protesters decided to disperse because they wanted to come back with a more cohesive plan next time. So they have officially dispersed. Nothing happened tonight as far as people getting shot, as far as other things, but we did see that the police took the water which is dumb, and then the tire slashing. It does seem like the police are targeting certain protesters, like many have said before.
So the only looting that happened was the sheriff's department stealing the water bottles from the protesters that were left on the sidewalk over here. That's the only looting that happened tonight. These protesters have been out here for multiple days now, and they haven't been doing anything. There's cameras up there. There's cameras over here. The sheriff's department was actually the one that caused a little bit of property damage on that laundry over there last night or 2 nights ago. And you can look on our feed and look at the live stream there. We also saw a puddle of blood over there. So yeah, we're about to sign off. I'm glad that it was a peaceful night. Protesters were very peaceful, and they were just only chanting and just standing there, exercising their First Amendment right. And the sheriffs came out here in all these trucks, gas on, lights on, multiple sheriffs, many sheriffs, and just think about all your tax dollars going to that in the local community.
I just want to say, Comrade Misty is Putin's buddy, said that she was happy we used her tweet, but she said she had to resub to our YouTube. Again, we keep getting that. A lot of people are unsubscribed without our knowledge. So make sure to check if you're subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. But also hit the bell because we're one of those channels that people don't want. They don't want you to see that. They don't want you to see what we're talking about, what we're saying, etc. So check if you're subscribed. If you think you're subscribed, double check to make sure you are. Just wanted to say that. And thanks so much, guys, for watching. We're going to sign off here. Supposedly there will be another action at some point tomorrow.
Combo out.